Welcome to Bassmaster Fishing 2022, Lake Chickamauga, Online Open, Round 4, Championship Round. This is the last round. I'll be giving my best effort today. I want to show you a new spot and a new lure and everything that I'll be using. Because some of my other spots have just been a little unreliable, and I really haven't been able to get the kind of bag that I really need or want. So I'm going to try a deep spot today. And I'm going to talk to you about the loss of the video game disc. So you just go left out of the boat dock and you go all the way to the south. And there's a spot that I've done pretty well on in practice. And I'm going to try it here today on the championship round. I was fishing over there on that bank there. And in front of this boathouse, you can do okay there. I've got 70 pounds once using those two spots. Once out of like 9 attempts. So I'm just done with like using that spot, honestly. And I'm looking for a new strategy on Chickamauga because I need to improve. I don't have a chance of winning right now, but I do have a chance of having a good round and making a good video. So that's what my efforts will be focused on. All right, so you come by this dock here. You come about this far away, and you just go beyond it a little bit. This is the deep spot in here. See that tree right out in front? I'll show you my lures. This is what I'm going to use. A 3/16 ounce drop shot and with a 4/0 hook and a tremor shad. Also, I might use this, a 1/4 ounce jig head with a 4/0 hook because it sinks a little bit. And many of the bass are about 10 feet down here. I might use this. And I also might use this if I get desperate. The Jenko-listic swim bait. Now here, there's a bunch of different places you can pitch. You can pitch kind of over here. You can pitch in here, and you can pitch over here. And you'll see bubbles and splashes all through here. Now, Lake Chickamauga, you need really 14s is what you're looking for. 14s and 15s, but also high 13s can be great. Like 13 8s plus. But one of the reasons I wanted to come here is because there's not a million like smallmouth bass or white bass that get in your way and waste your time and everything. In other words, this spot can be very largemouth bass heavy. This did not look very big. Okay, guys, so I want to talk to you about PlayStation news and what they have said publicly on their blog about refusing to make game discs starting January 2028. If you care about this, there is a petition online called Don't Kill the Disc petition. All you have to do is go to the internet and type it in the search bar, Don't Kill the Disc petition. And a page will come up that will direct you right to the petition. Now, you can put a few bucks towards getting the petition out to more people if you wish. I did. I put some money towards it. To get the petition, that's a legendary spotted bass. But he didn't bite. I actually think it'd be kind of cool to catch him. But right now, I'm not after him, really. But I strongly urge you to reach out and sign that petition. At least give it your signature. It's on change.org, so it's a well-known petition site on the internet. It's very reputable. There's no danger of anything happening if you just put your signature to that petition. And I strongly encourage you to do so. And also, if you'd like to know more about this subject of PlayStation refusing to make discs starting January 2028, I would strongly urge you to go to YouTube and look up Spawn Waves news channel. And he does like the best gaming news on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of guys on YouTube that just kind of like do a lot of hate baiting, and they hate these companies, and they're trying to get you angry at these companies and try to get you to subscribe by appealing to your anger and your sense of being mistreated. And they're very kind of like critical channels. They give a lot of opinions, and they basically try to get you to subscribe to their channel by being just very angry and very critical about things that they don't understand. But Spawnwave is not like that. He is a gaming news channel. He reports the news about what's going on in the gaming world every single morning. Every morning at 8 o'clock, he has a video about what's happening in the gaming world right now. And I really suggest that if you want to hear more about what's going on with this problem with PlayStation, that you subscribe to his channel. And honestly, I would tell you to avoid the other gaming channels. I've subscribed to them, and like I've honestly just not been happy with the other gaming channels. I think they kind of rage a little bit too much, and like they hate bait a little bit too much. And sometimes they even lie on their thumbnails and tell you that the video is about something that it's not even about. But Spawnwave never does that. Spawnwave is the best gaming channel. I mean, the best gaming news channel on YouTube. He's very professional. And so subscribe to Spawnwave. He's keeping up to date on what is happening daily with PlayStation refusing to make the discs. And he reports on it every single day now. And there will be reporting on YouTube by all different gaming channels. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's upset. And I heard on Digital Foundry, also another good YouTube channel that covers gaming. On Digital Foundry, one of the guys said that they are repurposing the factories that used to make discs for PlayStation. Sony is changing those factories into AI producing technologies factories. So now there's not enough money in discs anymore. And they're changing these factories into like computer technology factories. So the money's not in discs, it's in AI now. And Sony doesn't want to do discs anymore. They want to do AI technology. And they're dumping us. They're dumping us gamers that, they've sold discs to for 20 years, over 20 years. They've sold us the game discs. They started the whole disc era. They were the first people. They were the first people to put the disc in the console and sell it. As far as I know, they started it. So many people are upset because, you know, I know all digital is very popular these days. People buying digitally, you get your game instantly.
It's Chubasa.
You don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. And that's the big draw. That's the big appeal. Is that you just don't have to wait. And you don't have to store it. You don't have to put it on a shelf anywhere. You could just basically play these games day one. And that's the big draw. But so many of us have been buying the discs because we just believe in like ownership of something tangible when we purchase something physical, something tangible, something you can resell and get your money back for one day, or some of your money, or maybe all your money. And I even have digital games, but I much more often buy the disc because I just don't really believe in having many like expensive digital games because you just can't ever sell them. You know, you just can never trade them or borrow them or like exchange them for store credit or sell them or anything. When you buy a digital game, I mean, you commit to the loss of that money every single time. You can't get anything for it. And I buy digitally. I'm not telling you to not buy digitally. I do it myself.
Chubasa.
But I always try to buy the disc. And I have a huge gripe with PlayStation no longer selling discs. I mean, they really won me over with the PS5. I was not a big PlayStation guy. But with the PS5, you know, I really started to love PlayStation. I've never had more fun with any game system as I have with the PS5, you know. And I was an Xbox guy for a long time, but then I lost my password and I couldn't get into my account. And they wanted me to log in, and you know, I couldn't find my password. So I felt like I had to buy a PS5 and not a Series X. Even though they simplified all that, and with the Series X, you can start a new account and everything. I didn't know that, so I felt like, well, I have an account on Xbox I can't get into. I guess I have to buy a PS5. And then I wound up being this big PlayStation fan. There's just so many people on PlayStation. Any multiplayer game, any online multiplayer game that you want to play, there's just a million people on PlayStation. It seems like there's always a bunch of people to play with. And I just really grew to like that, especially with Call of Duty and my poker games and Call of Duties. Like, it's just really good. Like Fishing Planet, any multiplayer game online. And PlayStation just has a lot of people online. So there's always people, like lots of people to play with. I think the competition is a little bit better on PlayStation than it is on Xbox. There's just a lot more people to play with. So it's like they really won me over during the PS5. I had a fat disc model. I still have it. I don't have the Pro. I didn't want to buy the Pro for a while. I recently considered it. But then the price went through the roof and I disconsidered it. Well, there's no way I can afford that. It's going to be my first good one, guys. And this is normal to not catch a really good one for like 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah, a 14.4.
It's Chubasa.
A really nice fish. At first, I gave PlayStation the benefit of the doubt. And I said, well, you know, I really love PlayStation. Maybe they have to do this. Maybe they can't make discs anymore. But then one of my buddies on PlayStation said, oh, they made $30 billion in 2028. They made $30 billion in a single year of the PS5. And he said, don't make excuses for those bastards, you know, give them hell on your channel and, you know, really go after them on my YouTube channel. Because I was making excuses for them, but then I looked that up. Is that true? And what were their costs that year? And it turns out that in 2023, it cost them no more than $10 billion to make the PS5, and yet they earn about $30 billion. So they covered their cost and then made about $20 billion in a single year. Yes, sir. A 14 and then a 15 off to the left. So I'll be pitching over here again, that to be sure. Big one. Wow. That's about the biggest possible largemouth that you can get on Chick. Now I'm really excited because I got my two first fish that I needed in the first under 20 minutes. Another trophy largemouth. Notice, guys, like, I've caught almost exclusively trophy largemouth bass. So there aren't a whole lot of other species here to get in your way. But guys, many of the fish here are pretty deep. They're like, this is another big one. It can't even jump. Oh, no, no. Only 11. You see all the largemouth in here? There's just a lot of them. I'm getting like nothing but largemouth. I like this spot because like it's more fun than some of the other spots where there's just a million other species. Here you get mostly largemouth. And some real slobs. Some real giants. A 14 and then a 15. But I was casting around a bit, like to the left, to the right, all over the place. I do have a lot of practice on this spot. There was a few weeks where I was just fishing here exclusively. Practicing, seeing if I could get a good score here. But yeah, everyone on YouTube is raging about this, about PlayStation not making any more discs, because it's so big. I mean, like, they were the first ones to ever do it, guys. They were the first game system to even do discs. And then Xbox came along and copied what they were doing. with a disc. Old Microsoft wanted a piece of the big video game pie. And so they started making discs. And they did really well for a while. But they made a big mistake with Xbox One. A few really big mistakes with that. Right at the beginning of that generation, they made some mistakes that they just never recovered from. And they reversed all, like right away when they realized they made all those mistakes, they reversed all of them. And they basically said, oh yeah, you can share your games now. You don't have to spend money for the sensor. You don't have to buy the sensor with the machine. And they made a few big mistakes with Xbox One right at the beginning of the generation. And they said, you know, you have to jump through all these hoops. You have to spend extra money, and PlayStation was cheaper, and they just made like some of the biggest possible mistakes. And video gamers just didn't buy the Series X or the Xbox One. And everything started going down for Xbox. I think it's a shame in this country, in America, that more gamers do not buy Xboxes, and that we seem to want like the PlayStations, the Nintendos, but we don't want Xbox, our own American game company. And I've always thought that was a real shame. And if you can possibly do it, guys, I mean, you can get a cheap Series S online for, I mean, on like Facebook Marketplace, probably a good one for like $100. That's where I got mine. Facebook. Oh, yes, this looks like a good one. I don't know though. But if you can, guys, support Xbox. You know, get an online membership. You know, I'm telling you to get a Series S. Get a cheap Xbox and just get an online membership. You know, $10. What is it? 10 or 15 bucks a month. You know, if you can afford it, and support America, guys. Don't just be like a PlayStation guy or a Nintendo guy. You know, if you're American, guys, you should be an Xbox guy. That's Team America, and people make fun of Xbox lovers on YouTube. They call them Team Green. Those of us that love and buy Xboxes. We're Team Green, you know?
That's a little choke pan.
About the most mediocre possible 12, 13. Almost a 13, not quite. I'm hoping that is not one of my final 5. This is not a really huge one. He sure is taking a lot of time, though. He's messing with me. He's not coming in. But yeah, guys, please. Go to the internet and put in the search bar.
Not gonna set any records.
Don't kill the disc petition. And it's a very trustworthy site, change.org. And just give your signature, guys. That it may be all we can do, and maybe we can't do anything about it. And maybe Sony's not going to ever change their mind, And they want this AI factory money. And they want to make AI technology. They want to make computer technology now. And maybe it's not going to make any difference. But you know what? You will have done all you could. You know, you will have done your part. And I think you totally should sign that petition. In almost a week, it's got almost 250,000 signatures. In not even a week, it's been since Sony made the announcement. So you will be in very good company of people that do not want this. Do not want the loss of the disc and the destruction of PlayStation by going all digital. I actually think that this is going to hurt their business. That it's going to hurt their gaming business immensely. Also, guys, I believe now, after looking at some of the information I've gotten, some of the data, that they know it. They know this is going to hurt their gaming business, but they don't care because they want this AI money. They want the money from computer technology. So they want to change their factories into like computer component factories. And you know, they want to get out of the big gaming business and into, you know, the computer technologies business. That is very much what it looks like to me. No, not good enough.
Green beast from beneath.
Coming up on a half hour. It does seem like PlayStation just, or, you know, Sony may be making this decision. Not even PlayStation, because Sony really controls PlayStation. They own it and they ultimately make the decisions. So I think this could be a Sony move instead of a PlayStation move. I don't know, like, I'm not sure if PlayStation controls these factories that were making the discs or if Sony does. But my guess is that probably Sony ultimately controls those factories. And ultimately, Sony's just saying, look, we don't want to be as involved in the gaming business as we used to be. We just want to do the digital thing. And we want to get out of the gaming business in a sense. That it's like they're dumping a lot of us that have to have discs. Like, we will not buy a PS6 if it is all digital and we have to purchase all of our games digitally only. Guys, this could be fish number 3 right here. Let's hope so. Yes.
That tote right there, that's a little chunk.
A 14.5, guys. Phenomenal. Now I have 2 over 14 and 1 15. Absolutely phenomenal. And I got my 15 over here. Now I just got to finish things out and get 2 more big ones. That's all I need, guys. In 30 minutes, I only need 2 more giants. Can I do it on this very... Ooh, no, that's a smallmouth, I think. Can I do it on this very deep spot? Oh, no, this is like a 10-pound fish. I don't know if it's a smallmouth or a largemouth, but it's definitely like a 10-pound fish. Yeah, here it comes. Smallmouth, 9 pounds.
Found Basszilla.
But things sure have gone well. And if you watch YouTube, guys, you gotta subscribe to Spawn Wave. He's got the best gaming news. He's very professional, and he never like gives like an angry, nasty opinion, like where he just accuses people or attacks anybody. He never attacks anybody, or he never attacks any business. And I just found like him personally to be very professional, and he uses like his channel to basically report gaming news in an unbiased, you know, like fair and balanced way. So if you want mostly the data, the information of what's going on in gaming every day, you should definitely subscribe to Spawn Wave. And that's like one word, SPAWNWAVE. You can find him on YouTube, and I strongly urge you to subscribe to his channel because it's the best gaming news on YouTube. It's one of my favorite channels. I watch it every morning. I watch his report every morning on what's going on in video gaming. I think it's where I first heard about Sony's decision. But I don't think, you know, anybody really needs to hear why many of us care about discs. Look, you know, everybody knows why discs are important. Because they can be sold. Because they have value. Like, where a download does not. Like, yes, a download is valuable. It's worth as much time as you're willing to spend playing it. But as far as financial value, as far as monetary value, digitals don't have any monetary value. They cannot be traded or sold. They can't be exchanged at the game store. So, I mean, we all know this, guys. Everybody knows why discs matter and why discs are important. I mean, I don't have to, like, teach anybody why. You know, why we don't want to lose discs.
Not gonna set any records with that one.
I think every single person should realize that, you know, you just can't sell a download. You can't trade it in for store credit. You can't trade it for anything with anyone. It's tied to your account. So even if you can put it on like an external SSD or a hard drive or something, well, you can't give it to anyone else because it won't work on their accounts. It'll only work on your account. It's no secret, like, why discs are important. That's why so many people are angry about Sony actually daring to do this. Because now what they're saying effectively is, we don't care about giving you anything truly valuable for your money. When you purchase one of our games, you're going to get something that has no financial value. Yes, maybe it'll be as valuable as the time you're going to spend playing it and enjoying it, but no financial worth, no monetary value. And, for so many of us, it's just really not okay. It's just not going to be good enough for many of us that we're not going to see the sense in buying a PlayStation 6 because it'll be literally a money pit. Every single game that you buy will basically cost you not only your money, but also your time. And not only that, but you'll never be able to get any money back for it. If you get done with the game and you ever want to, say, sell it, and or you buy a game that you wind up not liking very much, you say you want to go on Facebook Marketplace and maybe get a few bucks back for it, you're never going to play it again, and you want to quickly sell it on Facebook Marketplace or someplace, well, that's not possible with a download at all. So on my channel, I don't get a million views, but I have an audience, and I have some people that watch all my videos, and I'll even tell you a little secret of something I've been doing on PlayStation. I play Call of Duty every single day. And I play with hundreds of people every day on Call of Duty. And what I've been doing is basically sending them all a message to go sign the petition. To sign the petition on the internet for PlayStation to not quit making discs. And I'm taking a little bit of a risk because I might actually get banned for it. I don't know. I've messaged a few hundred people. So a couple of them told me they were even going to report me. And I guess what I'm doing there could be considered a kind of harassment, but I'm not trying to harass anybody, and I'm not out to make anybody mad or fight with anybody or anything or cause trouble or anything. I was just hoping that people that play on PlayStation might want to sign the petition, that's all. Because they are PlayStation gamers, and they're playing Call of Duty, and I thought, well, I can just go into my played together list and just type out a message and send that one message to all of them on my PS5. And that's what I've been doing. Since I play with all those people every day, I've been asking them all to sign the petition. And some of them get real mad and they hate me, and not really a great one. And they want to get me in trouble and everything, and but I don't really feel like I'm doing anything wrong. I feel like the person who's making the wrong decision here is PlayStation, is Sony, and they really need to consider what has made PlayStation great all along. It's been that they have been making these discs. They have been making these discs, and we, the customers, have been making their game system the most successful game system in the entire world in all history. And it's because that they've been making these discs. And I promise you, if they quit making these discs, many people will not forgive them for that. Will not buy the PS6 and will no longer be PlayStation customers. They will no longer have a PlayStation subscription. to play online, and they'll literally quit PlayStation. And I know a lot of people are hoping that Xbox does not follow the bad example that PlayStation is giving. And many of us are really hoping that Xbox continues to make discs, and that will make them extremely popular.
Flippity flop, what do you got?
If they decide to make discs and Sony quits making discs, I promise you Xbox business will explode. And they might even know that, but I just don't know if they are able. Like, if they are successful and profitable enough at this point to give us discs. I don't know. Nobody knows yet. They haven't released any kind of statement yet that they will or will not have an all-digital system for the next generation. Of course, when they do come out with a statement,
Somebody caught a toe.
it'll be big news on YouTube, and all the news channels will be reporting, if Xbox decides to do all digital and go down this dark road that Sony PlayStation is, it will be news. I definitely think that if Xbox decides to do the discs, they will not regret it. And honestly, that's all they have to do, I think, really, to keep pace with or even overtake PlayStation. It's such a bad move by PlayStation. You gotta realize, like, it's probably intentional. They just don't care about like video gaming anymore, and they would rather get into computer technology. They think that's the future, that's more profitable than gaming, and they're willing to sacrifice a bunch of us as customers. This is not a good one. I need 2 more in 15 minutes to have a phenomenal score. Oh, get out of here. Many gamers on YouTube have been saying, vote with your wallet. Don't buy the PS6. Don't buy the PS6 and quit your PlayStation subscriptions. And there was a big bass there and he didn't bite. There he is. There's one. Guys, I will probably not get rid of my PlayStation Online subscription, but I would not buy the PS6. That's just me. Like, you can do whatever you want, but I would probably not buy the PS6 if it was only digital games, because I like to buy the disc. I want my games to, like, when I die, to go to someone else,
Somebody caught a toe.
and for them to be able to use the games or sell them or exchange them for some other game system or do whatever they want with the games. Whoa, this came out of nowhere. Oh, it looked really small, but it's got a trophy heartbeat, so it is at least like a 10-pound largemouth. It almost broke off immediately. Come on in. What is, don't waste my time. It's slow. It's slow. That's a good sign. It's really slow. It's not jumping at all. Oh my gosh, it's a giant. And in practice, I had a lot of luck with this drop shot and the tremor shot here. I did very well. Yes, sir, another 14. As absolutely as good as I could get. Now I've got the second best round in the whole round so far. I guess I'll go back over here where I caught the 15. I just need one more big fish to be in the lead for the final round here, round 4. And they're like all over this spot. They're in different different angles. They're kind of like in different spots, but they're all reachable from this position. Man, a 14, that's great. That's exactly what I needed. I'll need one more big fish, guys. To have a phenomenal round. And honestly, if I don't even get one, I'll be happy because right now I have 70 pounds. I mean, that's what my goal was. My goal was 70 pounds. So, even, oh my goodness, there's a big one. Come on, come on. Yes, sir. I got him. Guys, I think this is probably the fish I'm looking for. But if it's like a 13, that's good enough to improve me. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is a giant. But please, guys, put "don't kill the disc" petition in your search bar, in your internet. Don't kill the disc petition. And all you have to do is click a button to sign it. You don't have to give any money. Yes. A 14. So now I have 4 over 14 and a 15 on this spot with 10 minutes to go. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. I'm pretty much done. I got a 72. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, it broke off. That could have been a good one. I could actually improve if I got a 15 or a high 14. There's no trophy heartbeat here. Yeah, guys, honestly, I am not a big fan of buying digital consoles anyway. I mean, I never was, and I originally bought a Series S at full price, a brand new one, but I returned it to Amazon almost right away because I didn't like the digital store, and I got it because there was a few games that I wanted. In the backwards compat section. A few old games I wanted to... Oh my goodness, guys. Are you kidding me? Is this big? But when I got into the backwards compatibility store, those old games were not there. This is huge. Are you kidding me? So they didn't have the games I wanted in the store, so I returned it right away. But later, I was cruising around on Facebook Marketplace and I saw one for sale, and it was like $100. And when I bought it before, it was like $300. Wow, a high 14, a practical 15 pounder. So definitely check this out, guys. But I would use the drop shot. I know some of you guys, you're not the biggest fan of the old drop shot lure here, but I say give it a shot. Something like this can happen. You can get almost a 73, pound round doing it. On a rainy day, you can get pretty lucky. But guys, I don't think I would ever buy a digital console unless it was like $100, because think about it. Like they get you to feel like, oh, buying a digital console is cheaper. And yet then they got you. Then they got you in that digital store, and you can only buy games in the digital store. So in the long run, over time, it's much more expensive to have an all digital machine, guys. It's not cheaper. It's not. Once you get in that digital store, you have to pay extra for the games. And you wind up paying like so much more. Than you ever would have if you'd had the disc console, because you can buy used games. You can buy used discs. You can buy cheap discs on eBay. You can go to a game store and buy a cheap disc. But you can't get any cheap games on a digital storefront unless it's on sale. And sometimes these digital stores do have good sales. I'm not saying that they don't. But what I am trying to convince you is that a digital console is more expensive in the long run. Over time, when you want to buy games right away, but you can only download them, then you have to pay the price that digital store tells you to pay, or you cannot play the game. Or else you have to wait for it to go on sale. And you never know when that's going to be, because they don't tell you like when certain games are going to go on sale, because they don't want you to know when those games are going on sale, or else you'll wait and you won't spend a lot of money on the game. If you knew when all the sales would be, you'd never buy a game at full price. And that's what they want. They want you to be totally trapped by that one game store online, so you can't buy a cheap game somewhere else.
What do you got?
But I am almost giving up on Sony. I'm going to keep my PlayStation online subscription so I can play Bassmaster and I can play Call of Duty. I'm not going to boycott PlayStation. But guys, if PS6 comes out and it's all digital and it's like $1,000 or close to it, don't buy it. I'm not saying boycott PlayStation. I'm saying let's all teach PlayStation a lesson about like how not to treat us as customers and as valuable consumers of their product. I mean, you almost feel like they don't even care if they go out of business. It's such a bad decision. Like, just in general, like, you gotta wonder about like that just the leadership at Sony and at PlayStation, and like why are they doing something that could destroy one of the most beloved game company to ever make a console, PlayStation. And they could literally destroy their company that has taken them over 20 years, more like almost 30 years or so, to build and to create. And I mean, they'll always be, even like if they do this and they chase many of us away from the PS6 and they don't care, if we get it or not. Even if they do this, like their PS2, their PS1, their 3 and their 4, will go down in history as being some of the most loved and the most played game systems in world history. Even if they do this, there'll always be that legendary game company that used to be great, that used to serve everyone's best interest and used to try to give everybody what they want and not just cater to the digital people only. And man, they used to care about all of us, getting all of our business, and now they can do without us, They don't care if we buy their game system or not, because we have to have discs. And it's a big middle finger, guys. It's a big middle finger to those of us that really have to have discs. Unfortunately, Sony is basically disowning us and saying they just don't care about our business. They want to get into AI manufacturing and everything, and they want to do something else. They want to go down the road of not really caring what many of us want or how many of us feel. And I'm really sorry that they feel that they have to make that decision. But because I really came to love PlayStation during PS5, and I never cared about it before. I had a PS2 back in 2002. I barely played it. But with the PS5, I mean, they really got me loving their stuff. The way the PS5 looks, man, it's such a cool look, and the way it looks like a giant modem and a big futuristic machine and a special, aesthetically, visually pleasing console. I never really thought much of the look of PS2, 3, or 4, but the PS5 looks phenomenal. Okay,
Fatty Wack, give that hog a bone.
that gives me a couple extra ounces, I think. But another 14, guys. No, I didn't improve at all. Maybe an ounce. No, I don't think I improved an ounce there. But it's sad, guys. I will not be buying the PS6. I don't want to support them at all. I'm mad at PlayStation. I don't want to support anything they're doing, but I have a lot of PlayStation games now, and I want to play them online. So I will not be closing my PlayStation membership online because I want to play online.
Somebody caught a toe.
But I can commit that I will not be buying the PS6. And do I think you should? Guys, if it's $1,000, do you realize, if it's close to $1,000, do you realize the money pit that an all digital